In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 best cards for 50,000 MT right now in NBA 2K23 Myteam. These cards are going to be amazing for their price tag and have some amazing value that can compete and be on the best squads in the game for only 50k. Just shows how good they are for that price tag, but not going to be in order. But the first card I do want to talk about is going to be the Dark Matter Nikola Jokic and his out of position version, and he actually dropped a ton in price. He was around like 40 to 50k, but now he's gone down even more. He's around like 25 to 30k, maybe about 30,000 MT, and that is such good value for Nikola Jokic. That's 6'11" at the point guard position, 7'3" wingspan, has such an elite level player model. Probably the best thing about Jokic is his size and his player model, and he does have a really good jump shot as well with the Eric Paschall base, Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing. Is a really good jump shot. He's got a 97 3 ball, 97 mid range. His defense is going to be top tier, not so much because of his stats and his badges or his tendencies. It's because of his size, being a 6'11" point guard, and he also gets great defensive animations. He's a great rebounder for a point guard, and then also fairly fast and can run the court with some pretty good dribble sigs, and he does have 30 Hall of Fame badges. So I would say Nikola Jokic, his out of position version, is easily going to be a top 5 card for 50,000 MT. Now the next card I wanted to talk about is actually going to be Galaxy Opal Yao Ming, who has gone down a ton in price over the past couple weeks. You can get this Yao Ming card for about 50k, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It really just depends when you're checking the auction house. Right now, you can see right here, he's 49,950. Sometimes he might be a little bit less, a little bit more, but he's going to be such a good center card. He's 7'6" at the center position, 7'9" wingspan, and we know Yao is going to have one of the better player models in the game, and that's like the top tier thing about this card is his size and his player model. He can knock down threes with still a very decent jump shot. And he's not the quickest center in the game. He's only got 80 speed and 80 acceleration, but if you have a good coach and a shoe boost, you can get that up into like the low to mid 90s, which is going to be perfectly fine enough for a Galaxy Opal Yao Ming card. And yeah, just such a good center for his price. I know the Dark Matter version is probably a little bit better, you know, with the dribble sigs and maybe some other stuff that's a little bit better with this Yao Ming card, but I don't believe he's around 50k. He's more of like 70 to 80,000 MT, I do believe, maybe even a little bit more now. Yeah, he's probably around like 70 to 80k, so he's not going to be in the 50k price range, but I still think the Galaxy Opal is a top tier center card, and I do think is a top 5 card for around 50,000 MT. Now coming in at the number 3 spot, not really ranked in order, but number 3 card I want to talk about is actually going to be another great center card, and that's going to be Dark Matter Mark Eden, who is an elite defensive card for only about, I think, like 45 to 50k, somewhere in that price range, but he's going to be such a good defensive center. He's 7'4" at the center position, 7'7" wingspan, and he has one of the better player models in the game, and that is easily one of the best things about Mark Eden is his size and his player model. And I actually don't mind his jump shot. I think he's got a pretty decent release that's easy to time. He's great at finishing underneath the basket with a 98 standing dunk, 95 driving dunk. He's a really good lob threat, and he's really good at getting standing dunk animations. And he's also underratedly a really good offensive rebounder, maybe one of the best O-board, rebounder in the game, able to just snag and get your team a lot of second chance opportunities, which can be super helpful. And then, like I said, we know this card's going to be on your squad for defense, and he is a top tier center defender with a 99 block, 87 steal, 94 perimeter, 98 interior defense, and then he's also going to be fairly fast. Once again, if you have a pink diamond 7 seconds coach, or you have a pink diamond pace and space coach, and then you also give him a +4 speed, you can get this card up to a 95 speed, which is perfectly fine for Mark Eden and the size he brings you. And then he's also really strong, 98 strength. He's going to be a big body down low, and then he's also got 35 Hall of Fame badges and 1 on goal. So I do think Mark Eden for sure going to be a top 5 card for 50,000 MT. Now the next card I wanted to talk about is actually going to be pretty close to 50k. He might be a little bit more. It really just depends when you're checking the auction house. It is going to be Taco Fall though. Once again, it really depends when you're checking the auction house. Like right now, I don't think he's 50k. I think he's more of like 55, 59k. So it really depends when you're checking the auction house. I wanted to include him in this top 5 though, because I've seen him end for around 50 to 60k. He's somewhere in that price range, and I think he's close enough to be in this top 5, and he's such a good power forward card. He's 7'6" at the power forward position, 8'2" wingspan, And just like Mark Eden, just like Yao Ming, we know he's going to be super dominant because of his animations and also his superly overpowered player model. Like, that's easily the best thing about Taco Fall is his player model and his size. He's a really good defender, 98 block, 92 interior defense. I will say the one big flaw about this card is only the 64 speed and the 64 acceleration, but it does feel quicker and end game. And then you can also upgrade his speed with a coach and a shoe boost. But yeah, Taco Fall, just so glitchy of a card, still gets the craziest animations. And once we get his invincible or endgame version, I mean, the game is going to be in trouble. I will say, like, Victor Wembanyama is amazing, but Taco Fall is going to be just as good with his overpowered player model. And then for the fifth and final card for 50,000 MT that I think is going to be in this top 5 is going to be this Dark Matter Ralph Samson. There's a lot of centers and power forwards in this, top 5 because there's just so many good cards for right around 50k that are a power forward or center. Or if you look at more of like the cheaper options, like 25,000 MT, there's really not any good center cards. So around 50k is where you get to all the really good center options, all the really good power forward options, with Taco Fall, Yao Ming, Ralph Samson, Mark Eden. Yeah, Ralph's going to be a 7'4" center, 7'8" wingspan, and a very similar center card to a guy like Mark Eden or Yao Ming. Just really good defender, has a great player model. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my top 5 cards for 50,000 MT. Just to give you guys the top 5 once again, not necessarily ranked in order, but we got Jokic number 1, we got Mark Eden number 2, we got Ralph Samson number 3, and then we do have Yao Ming number 4 and Taco Fall number 5. But let me know in the comment section down below if there's any other cards you guys would include in this top 5 for under 50k, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.